Physics. The figure below shows a car of mass 1 ton moving on a level road. The total driving force of the car and the friction force opposing its motion is 3000 newtons and 1000 newtons respectively. So this is the car that we have. So we have the friction force and we have the total driving force. So in this case, they are saying respectively, then the driving force is 3000 and the friction force is 1000. So the driving force is 3000. So that is the driving force. So the first question is calculate the acceleration of the car. So what have we been given? We've been given force and we've been given mass. So the formula that we are going to use, we are going to use the formula for force. So force is equal to mass times acceleration. So that is the formula that we are going to use. So for us to find acceleration, we need mass and force. So let's start with force. So for the force, we are going to calculate the resultant force. So how do we calculate the resultant force? So resultant force is equal to, so we have two forces acting on the car. And these two forces, they are in the opposite direction. So opposite direction, we subtract for us to have the resultant force. So 3000 minus 1000. So the resultant force is equal to 2000 newtons. So 2000 newtons, it is the resultant force. Now, what about mass? So remember in the question, mass is 1 ton. So we need to make sure that this mass, it is in kg. Mass is equal to 1 ton is equal to 1000 kg. So 1 ton is equal to 1000 kg. So our mass is 1000 kg. So force, it is 2000. So 2000 is equal to mass is 1000 kg times acceleration. So from there, I'll divide throughout with 1000 over 1000. So 1000 and 1000 goes. So acceleration is equal to, acceleration is equal to 2 meters per second squared. So this is the acceleration. Part 2, if the car started from rest, calculate 1. The kinetic energy gained by the car in 10 seconds. So how do we calculate kinetic energy? So kinetic energy, it is given by this formula. Kinetic energy is equal to 1 over 2 mass times velocity squared. So that is the formula for kinetic energy. Mass we have, it is 1000 kg. That is the mass that we have. What about velocity? Velocity we don't have. So we don't have velocity. So we are going to calculate velocity since time is given and I have acceleration. And they are telling me that the journey started from rest. So from rest, it means that initial velocity is equal to 0. That's what it means. So from rest, initial velocity is equal to 0. That is what it means. So initial velocity is equal to 0. So I'll say acceleration is equal to v minus u over time taken. So that is the formula that I'm going to use. So acceleration I have, it is 2. So where there is acceleration, I'll substitute 2. Final velocity is what I'm looking for. So final velocity minus initial velocity 0 over time taken is 10 seconds. So I'll say v minus 0, it is v. 2 times 10, it is 20. So 20 meters per second. So this is my velocity. So this is the velocity that we are going to use here. So kinetic energy is equal to 1 over 2 times mass, it is 1000. So 1000 times velocity, which is 20, so it will be 20 squared. So from there now we are going to say 1 over 2 times 1000 times 20 squared. So I'll use a calculator. So 1 over 2 times 1000 times 20 squared. So the answer is 200,000. So kinetic energy is equal to 200,000 joules. So this is the answer. Then part 2, calculate the power developed by the car engine in 10 seconds. So power, it is given by this formula. So power is equal to work done divided by the time taken. So work done, that is equal to potential energy. And remember that energy conservation, it says that energy cannot be destroyed or created, but it can only change from one form to the other. So meaning kinetic energy in this case is equal to potential energy. So potential energy is equal to kinetic energy. So that simply means that kinetic energy is 200,000. Even potential energy is 200,000 according to conservation of energy principle. So work done is potential energy. So that simply means that potential energy, it is 200,000 over the time taken is 10. So power is equal to 10 into 200,000, it is 20,000. So 20,000 watts. So this is our power.